Welcome to the Coach Toolbox. I'm your host, Dr. Ajay Nangalia, a leadership coach and counselor. This channel supports your professional and personal development as a leader with research-based and practice-focused learning. And we bring you the best career and life advice from guests who've been there and done that successfully. And now, our session today. Today, let's talk about delegation, a quick refresher that can really take your own leadership to the next level. Because every leader, whether it's a first-time team leader or a senior executive at the director, VP, or CXO level, is interested in increasing her or his productivity and effectiveness as a leader. Now, one way that is often overlooked or treated without intention is the leader's ability and willingness to delegate important tasks to direct reports. Research shows that leaders who delegate can increase their effectiveness at work by as much as 30%. So how can you, as a leader, increase your own effectiveness and productivity dramatically? And the answer, yes, is you need to learn or perhaps relearn how to delegate effectively. And you're probably thinking, hey, but you don't know my direct team. They're really too raw or inexperienced, or they don't want to pull their own weight, or they're not responsible enough. Well, hold on. So there certainly would be the odd ones who might fit that bill. But first, let's learn to look at our own thinking about delegation and then see how we can. Let's talk about some strategies that can help us to relearn to delegate effectively. So that's the goal in our conversation today, to learn to explore what might be blocks within ourselves as leaders, and these blocks hinder effectively delegation. And then let's explore strategies to overcome some of these blocks. Now, since research demonstrates the effectiveness of leaders who delegate, why not you and I start applying these strategies to gain these benefits for ourselves? Let's start with strategy number 1. And this is to change your own mindset about how you look at your direct reports and delegation. Now, you may believe it's easier and more reliable if you do that critical task yourself, or you may believe that you don't have the time to teach anyone given the pressure of work. And while there are elements of truth in this, let's remember that to increase our leadership ability, we need to change our mindset from I'm the only one who can do this right to I am a teacher who teaches others to do it right. This development mindset is a teacher's mindset where you can appreciate that your role is to teach others to do your job better than you can. So step 1 to change your mindset to becoming a teacher's mindset. The next element in the delegation journey is believing that you don't have time to teach someone else to do it, that it takes a lot of time. And this is true. It does take time and it does take effort, but in the short run only. Because in the long run, there is a payoff, and this payoff frees you to do complex tasks, take on bigger projects. It builds a second line of leadership for you. Number 3 is we've spoken about your need to see your role as a teacher's role, but the main issue is that of trust. Do you trust yourself? Are you able to learn to let go of your own fears? If she learns a job, she will leave. Or your own personal insecurities. If he learns to do it as well as I can, then my own job is at risk. Or what if she is better than me? So your own fears and insecurities are often limiting factors to your ability to delegate effectively. In such cases, a conversation with your coach can help you explore some of these self-limiting beliefs and fears that you might be struggling with. Number 4, delegating takes time because you don't just start assigning different tasks to different team members without planning and thought. Delegation time takes time initially because you need to spend time in figuring out the strengths of your team, their willingness and their ability to learn, and then to take over the tasks from you. So why not start today with developing an inventory of strengths? Have a conversation with each team member on what they see as their strengths, the tasks or projects that they'd like to be involved in, the group opportunities they're looking for. And then this will give you a picture of how you can allocate tasks that can be delegated. The secret to success is that now you can align what you delegate to what the person is looking for, and that will dramatically enhance their commitment and motivation because it's something they want to do for themselves. Number 5, now as part of this process, you need to think about and break your work into chunks that can be delegated to the person who has the appropriate willingness and ability to take on the task. So go ahead, break it into chunks and then allocate the task. Be okay to take that risk. It's part of your role as a leader. Number 6, once you start the process of delegating, it's critical that you ease off on your own standards of perfection or expectations of how things should be done. Allow space for learning and trial and error, and be patient and kind with your team members and most importantly, with yourself. Number 7, delegation works when you communicate clear expectations of what is needed, set performance and quality standards that can be adhered to, agree on timelines, and then have a feedback process. And then be open that all this will collapse. You will certainly need to step in and salvage the situation, but that's part of your learning curve as you become better in learning to delegate. Number 8, now as your team members start working on the tasks that you have delegated to them, remember to be open with praise and very private with corrective feedback. It's a learning opportunity for them and you. So don't take out all your frustration or anger when things slip, as they most certainly will. Part of being an effective leader is to manage your own emotional energy when things are in crisis. Number 9, and finally, enjoy the process of learning to work with your team. They are learning and so are you. It's all part of the learning journey together. And while you may not see much return on effort in the first iterations, as long as you follow the above strategies, you will find that very soon you'll start seeing the benefits of the synergy and the multiplier effect that delegation has on improving your effectiveness as a leader. So as we bring our conversation to a close today, I'd like you to look at how you're operating currently as a leader, and let's start with a self-analysis. First of all, what are the mindsets about delegation and the way that you look at your team that are limiting? Number 2, what can you change in terms of mindset and the way you need to learn to delegate that will be more empowering for you and for your team? And number 3, what are the baby steps that you can start with? The easiest, simplest step that you can start or restart in effort to dramatically increase your effectiveness as a leader. So the 3 questions of the self-analysis, I'll do a quick recap. What are the mindsets about delegation and the way that you look at your team that are limiting? Number 2, what can you change in terms of this mindset and the way you need to learn to delegate that will be more empowering for you and your team? And number 3, what are the baby steps that you can start with? The easiest, simplest step that you can start or restart in your effort to dramatically increase your effectiveness as a leader. And I want to encourage you to embrace the risk and be okay that your first efforts will not go as per plan. The people you choose to start with may let you down. So be fine with the uncertainty and risk around trusting and developing your people. That's your role as a leader. Stay with the process and you will get better and better at it. Good luck.
And that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Please connect with us on coachtoolbox@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to follow, subscribe, and review this channel. Details of our ICF-approved coach training programs and our services as executive coaches and coaching supervisors are on www.globalcoachtrust.org. See you in our next session.